Alex Basil writes in a way that I can understand what he's talking about. He talks about things that go on in our everyday life, like going to Mass on Sunday, and sometimes it's hard for us to pay attention all the time, and he explains why it's so important for us to do, that we still have to go, and why going to Mass is so important.
In Finding Faith in a Godless World, my favorite section probably was on Blaise Pascal, because as a math teacher, I enjoyed reading about a fellow mathematician who spoke about a coin toss being heads and tails, giving you two choices, such as our two choices in life, whether to find God or not to find God.
My favorite chapter in Alex Basil's book is the one that talks about going to Vegas, throwing the dice about the existence of God. And why it really affected me is because the first part of the book talks about this whole phenomenon of people not going to church on Sundays and what they're doing with those days. And this chapter really made me feel you throw the dice and you got nothing to lose. You're still going to live a life of service. When you get to heaven, you either receive the ultimate prize, and for those people who maybe don't believe, you're still living a life of service, a life of love, a life of helping others, a life of living out Jesus' greatest commandment. So the example of gambling really helped.
I think Alex's book gives a lot of good chapters, actually. One of my favorite ones was actually the calling of the apostles, and he talks about the calling of Peter and the other apostles, and how essentially their lives are completely different, and how they're completely changed as a result of having to follow Jesus. And really the faith that they put, because I think Alex gives us a really good job of showing that, listen, these people gave up everything that they were to believe, and it's really not easy to do that.
The book, Finding Faith in a Godless World, helped me really re-examine my faith and grow closer in my relationship to God through my prayer life and Mass and my relationship with others. I realized how important it is to pray every day, and that it's a relationship with God, and you can't have a relationship without communication.
When I read a book, it really helps if there are real-life examples or something that I can relate to. And in Alex Basil's book, it's just chock full of examples from him growing up and his Christmas experiences and experiences with his son in church, and it puts everything into a real-life human perspective rather than just the outlining ideas.
I chose the title Finding Faith in a Godless World because I think there are so many times that our culture tends to push God out of the equation. And I think that in order for us to be happy in life, I think we need to find God, we need to find Jesus Christ, and without that, there's really no way to find true happiness. It seems that people require proof. We have, paparazzi following the stars around. We want to document every single thing that happens in society, and yet, we go to the doctor, we somehow, accept the fact that they can cure us. We go on an airplane and we believe that, we're going to get there safely. But yet when it comes to God, we don't believe. And I think it's so important to kind of hand ourselves over. And that's why I wrote this book, the importance of handing ourselves over and to thinking about where we stand in our relationship with God.